Joe Studwell, Asian Godfathers, Money and Power in Hong Kong and Southeast Asia. In Asian Godfathers, Money and Power in Hong Kong and Southeast Asia, Joe Studwell dives into the world of the ultra-wealthy tycoons who rule Southeast Asia's economies. This captivating book unveils a rarely seen side of Asia, with its booming economies and dysfunctional systems, where powerful individuals rise to prominence as tigers, but don't always act with a tiger's ferocity. This book's summary will explore the system of oligarchs who dominate markets, thrive within monopolies and enjoy rare privileges, while their workers toil away in modest circumstances, struggling to make ends meet. Throughout the summary, the core elements of Southeast Asia's unique economic and political landscape will come to light, along with the distinct identities of the Godfathers themselves.
Southeast Asian Billionaires. Southeast Asia is home to several billionaires, with 8 featuring on the Forbes ranking of the world's wealthiest people. While these oligarchs have enjoyed economic success, it hasn't benefited the region's working class who continue to struggle. The Godfathers of Southeast Asia's booming economy owe their success to political relationships that grant monopoly concessions rather than innovation and competition. Political structures created during the colonial era have hindered the region's competitiveness, and businessmen who profit from growth but don't lead it drive Southeast Asian economies. While not tied to organized crime, these tycoons are godfathers due to the male power, aloofness, mystique, backroom dealing, and charm that make up the Asian tycoon story. The secrets of Asia's Godfathers. Asia's Godfathers are masters of playing both cultural and political games to maintain their wealth and power. They rely heavily on the goodwill of political leaders while avoiding pledging true loyalty. Their businesses are often based on monopoly control, but they create myths of humble beginnings and rising to success based on hard work. They are multilingual, culturally adaptable, and reward hard work with extramarital affairs. However, their empires often crumble by the 4th generation. The Godfathers maintain strict secrecy and expect fawning media coverage, but they reflect rather than shape local economies. Asian Godfathers. The book describes how most of the Godfathers in Southeast Asian countries build their empires by establishing monopolies, protected markets, and cartels. They rely on gambling monopolies, agricultural monopolies, and basic food products that enjoy government protection. At the heart of every Godfather's empire is a concession or license that gives rise to a monopoly. They tend to be well-educated, cosmopolitan, polylingual and thoroughly insulated from the humdrum cares of their supposed kinsmen. The book also covers how competition is rare in any segment of the region's markets, cartels and tight government controls are the rule, while ironically, the outside world views these economies as bastions of free trade. The Delegating Godfathers. Godfathers operate efficiently by delegating responsibilities to trusted advisors. They focus on big-picture activities like setting strategy and making political relationships that fuel their empires. Often avid golfers, tycoons like Lee, Ching Yutung, and Kwok view the golf course as a workplace. They delegate executive responsibilities to 2 types of advisors, the chief slave and the guilo running dog. While the chief slave comes from the Godfather's ethnic group, the guilo running dog is often a European or American. Despite being well compensated, most of the employees under these advisors are considered corporate cannon fodder. The Godfather's business model relies on finding monopolies that provide cash and then slashing costs for profitability without having to cultivate motivated employees. The dark side of tycoon banking. Some of Southeast Asia's most prominent tycoons have been using their personal banks as personal piggy banks and have been exploiting the lack of government oversight to waste depositors' cash in questionable ways. Despite low returns, depositors in the region have high savings rates. The tycoons' cozy relationship with their banks has also hurt the stock market. The lack of incentive has caused the markets to underperform the rest of the world, with the tycoons adeptly fleecing shareholders. The author cites Kwok's Pacific Carriers, Limited, as a prime example of this abuse. The company once earned poor returns that Kwok discounted, took private, and ultimately took a chunk public again in Kuala Lumpur 2 years later. The author concludes that this situation is a major embarrassment, particularly in a region where $500 a month is considered a very good wage.
In conclusion, Joe Studwell provides an eye-opening glimpse into the inner workings of Southeast Asia's immense wealth gap, touching on the political systems that allowed such concentrations of power to emerge. This book's summary unveils the hidden sides of billionaires referred to as godfathers, who rely on monopolies, bribery, and deep-rooted political connections to ascend as the nexus of their nation's business landscape. For all the wealth and ostentatiousness these godfathers possess, however, the systemic issues of inequality and exploitation of the workforce remain largely unaddressed in Southeast Asia. By understanding the dynamics of corruption behind these imbalances, this summary offers valuable insights into the underlying forces that shape regional economies and the challenges countries face in their pursuit of equitable development.